At the top, 1,000 Miles Away, Hoodoo Gurus released in May of 91 on the album Kinky.
91.
And just then was Dzodzos and the Falcons with Hit and Run. From the album Screaming Targets, released in 1979 on the label Mushroom Records. Strong rock, pop, reggae vibes. Vineyards on the left, Coast on the right, in the back of the car with your two brothers, Ash. Take us there, man.
Oh, it's on the way down to Rye, driving down there, Vineyards on the left, Coast on the right. It's exactly what it was.
It sounds like another Jojo Zepp song.
Yeah, it's a nice.
Yeah.
I'll keep that tucked away. It's just such a clear picture in my mind. The sun, like afternoon sun glistening off the vineyards, because I think when you're parents and you have three boys, you try and leave early, but you end up leaving late. And so the sun was always sort of setting by the time we got down there. But at that time of the drive, it was like that orange glow on the vineyards, Jojo Zepp coming on, and Dad would turn it right up. We're those sorts of people that listen to music loud and really enjoy it.
I love how vivid your memories are.
Yeah. I really feel like I'm there with you.
I'm so close with them all.
Yeah.
And I feel are like some of the greatest memories of my life so far.
Yeah, tell us about your family, man.
Yeah, so Mum and Dad, John and Sonia. Mum was born in Sri Lanka, so moved to Australia when she was, I think, 13, 14 years old. She was born in Colombo, and her dad was born in a place called Kandy in the mountains in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I've been
really
to Kandy.
Cool. Yeah, I heard that on...
That's a really cool place, Kandy.
It's a great place, yeah. So you go to the temples and...
Yeah, went to the temples and caught the train through the tea fields down to Ella.
Yep.
Really
Beautiful.
Good train ride. Yeah,
that's
recommend.
Supposed to be a pretty special train ride.
Highly recommend. Yeah, really
I didn't
cool.
go on that. It was I'd only been there once, and it was for a tour to Sri Lanka, one day as T20s and a test tour. And I got to connect with that side of my family, which is really, really nice. There's still plenty there, and my grandfather's house is still like in the mountains there, and it's still owned by the family.
Wow. And you went there?
Went there with my wife, Maddie. Mum's cousin looks after it, and we had a massive feast, and I wanted to eat with my hand like they do and fully experience it, and it was beautiful. Like, they're such beautiful people, Sri Lankans.
Wow, that's amazing. I did not know that at all.
Yeah, so that was a really special time.
And your old man, he's an Aussie?
Dad's an Aussie. He's got English parents. So his mum's still around, which is really cool. She just turned 90.
Wow.
And Charles just met her for the first time in Melbourne. It's so hard travelling and stuff with the little one, but so that was a nice moment. And they've spent all their time in Melbourne, and they just moved to Perth about 7 months ago. Sold, moved over to come and be grandparents. I've got the first grandchild in the family.
So epic, man. And how they going? They loving the process?
They love it.
Yeah.
You've done the opposite to me. You've moved to Melbourne.
Totally cooked my family and disappointed them.
But it's tough, moving to another state is a crazy thing. I'd never been to Perth before I moved here. I'd never seen it. I knew a few boys here and then moved here when I was 18. And I remember getting here and thinking, this is the greatest place ever.
Really?
Because it's so different to Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
It's so much slower, which really suits me. The beaches, the weather was immaculate. So every time I go to the beach now, I feel like I'm on holiday. Like, I've never taken that for granted because I didn't grow up with that, as your backyard.
I feel I'm actually a little bit guilty of that. You get so conditioned to beautiful weather.
You at the Scarborough Amphitheatre, just getting barrels back in the day, taking it completely granted for.
Mate, 100%. They're just generally like the Perth lifestyle and weather. Like, not too many places are 30 and sunny for like
it's ridiculous
300 days a year. It's not even like half. It's like 90% of the time the weather's so nice here.
Ash, I wanted to ask about your brothers, man, because we know a little bit about your older brother. Is he?
I've got two younger brothers.
Two younger brothers.
So the eldest, shit about the
eldest
anything.
of the two. No, I haven't seen him. The eldest of the two plays cricket, but your youngest, a super talented dude.
The youngest is Wes, the cricketer.
My bad.
That's all good. And then Will is the middle one. They're both amazing. They're both my two closest friends, my brothers. I love them. But Will is he's this amazing human. He was a really good cricketer. He played first grade in Melbourne, which is tough work over there, actually. But he got sick of, wasting his Saturdays pretty much, and just sort of didn't get the same opportunities Wes and I got. But he was the best of us, I think, growing up.
Yeah.
But he has this beautiful, beautiful brain. Like, I'm looking around, I'm seeing all this artwork, and he's an amazing painter, and he has been his whole life, and it's something that just came to him so naturally. He was always able to see things and put it on paper and then put his own spin on things without even trying, which is a beautiful skill.
And does he have ambitions in that space? Does he want to grow into
maybe
an artist
one
of
day
some
in the
description?
future? I mean, he's entered a few portraits in the Archibald Prize.
Oh, wow. So he's
yeah,
proper.
Well, Australia's Portrait Prize. Yeah, he's very good.
Wow.
But he does it for fun. Like, it's for no benefit of his own. Like, he just enjoys doing it. And then the other side, he studied commerce, majors in economics and finance, and killed it. And works for Sportsbet and heads up a team at Sportsbet, and is flying. So he's incredible. His perspective on things I hold in extremely high regard. Like, I often call him when I want to hear his thoughts on something or learn something new. Sometimes it's the warping of the fabric of space, or some days it might be a meeting that he's had at work and it's a bit interesting. Or
That I call Tom when I want to talk about
exactly.
Tom.
Let's get onto that. I'm actually pretty keen.
And but then other times it's just to chat to a mate. Often when I'm driving, he's the first one that I call all the time. And sometimes it's silent because he's like working and I'm just like listening to music in the car, but I know he's always there, so it's really great.
So we're going to hear about Will Agar in the next 5 or 10 years, it sounds like.
I think at some stage we will.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty special.
He
Have you
sounds
got any
like
songs that remind you of him? Because some of it, I went back through and I looked at some of the art he's made. He's actually painted some like MF Doom portraits and stuff like that.
Yep.
Very, very cool dude.
MF is the one I was going to talk about with Will, actually.
Really?
MF Doom, Figaro. I put that on there. We love MF Doom. Like, we love old rap, and we just both love MF Doom so much. We play, and we've both got record players at home, and we spin the wax and listen to that album in particular, Mad Villainy.
That's magic. I feel like there's no more appropriate time than to pass to the Orcs, and you can take us there.
Yeah.
Shout out Will Agar.
Will Agar.